Hi friends, welcome back. We are going to now look at a Photoshop process for creating super titles, okay? So this is a strategy that I use and I just wanted to walk you through it so that you can quickly create the text that you'll then animate in QLab when you do your titles for the opera, okay? So we're gonna start a new file first. I think that the best approach is to do a 1920 by 1080 file so that you have like the scale of your projector in mind as you create this text. So we're going to create a blank Photoshop file. The next thing you're going to want to do is come into the document with your libretto, right? So that's the text that we're using. I'm going to demo with Who's the Enemy, which is not one that you have the option of because it is very short, but it is also very slow, right? So in this song, it's broken down really phrase by phrase in terms of the way that it plays out in the opera. So I want a new title for each phrase. And this is the strategy that I use, right? So I come in here, I usually will go to the text tool to set up the text in the style that I want up here, right? And then I just copy and then paste right into the text that piece of content, right? It will then over here show up right there, okay? If you change your background to something like black, you can see it, right? Because I'm using white text because I'm projecting this on a projector, and so the image will be made out of light, so I want white text, right? So that it can be seen. The other strategy that's super helpful, right, is actually to work backwards from the end to the beginning, because you'll notice, right, as I come in and copy the next piece of text, pick up my text tool, paste, the new layer of text, and then I hit the check mark, will appear above, right? And ultimately, you want the whole song in order going down the document, right? It doesn't matter where it is on the screen, but you want it to be ordered in the layers from beginning to end. And that's because of this cool thing that Photoshop does where it will create a separate image for each piece of text, and then you'll have in order your whole song, right? So because of that thing that it does, it's actually most efficient to work from the end to the beginning, right? So I would highlight layer 0, right? I would then start at the end of the song, okay? I have my text tool out, I click once, I copy paste, I hit the check mark, right? That's now the last piece of text. I come back over here, I bring it over, copy paste, hit the check mark when I'm done, and now I'm stacking backwards towards the beginning of the song, okay? Once you've done the whole song, you're happy with the relative scale, what the text looks like on your screen, then you'll go, and this is the cool part, this is the part that's a neat trick, right? You'll go to File. First, you're gonna save this, right? You're gonna wanna save it on your computer, as always, on your flash drive. Lily flash drive, there it is, great. This is Who's the Enemy, right? Or in this case, I would do like whatever song it was, Who's the Enemy, right? Or WTE, right? Just so that it's relatively short. Hit save. Okay. So now WTE is that little header. I'm going to go to File, Export, and then I'm going to use this Export Layers to File function. And when I come in here, it's going to give me a whole bunch of options, right? It gives me a destination. You want to browse, create a new folder, and that would be like Who's the Enemy text, right? So you have a place that these layers will go, okay? Then you're going to have a file name prefix, and in this case, O2 WTE is enough to help me identify quickly where the text belongs in the show. Visible layers only, so anything you turn off isn't going to export. and you want to make sure you're in PNG, right? So you have a bunch of different options, but you want either PNG 8 or PNG 24. That means that it'll keep transparency, so you'll be able to see through these images. You want to make sure you check that transparency box because you do want that to happen. And then you want to click trim layers because then it'll crop it down so that the only thing that's coming out in this export is the little rectangle of that piece of text. You hit run. It does this magic trick. Cool. And then we can go look in wherever the heck I put it, right? Where's the WTE text folder? And you'll see that you get a series of layers, right? They are stacked in order. They have a little numbering code so that they're happening, so that it's showing you this was layer 0, layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, layer 4, right? And that allows you then, each of these, when I hit the space bar, it's just that trimmed text, and it's exactly the right size, and it's transparent background, so that you can then bring them into QLab later and animate them piece by piece as part of your show. So that is the Photoshop process that I want you to use to create your text layers. Once you have gone through the song, broken it down into the phrasing that makes the most sense, it's okay if you don't use littlest chunks, right? Because some of these songs are very fast, and so you'll need a longer phrase. But you want to think about what it'll look like visually and lay it out so that there's a single layer that is the text for that piece, and that then you have an easy way of identifying which piece is which in your show. So that's my Photoshop process. I hope that's helpful. And as we continue, let me know if you have any questions. Thanks, friends. Bye.